Ladies and gentlemen, g'day, g'day. Oh my god, it's 10 p.m. right now at night here in my home country, right? And I get a notification from YouTube that Wargaming have uploaded a video in the series of videos that they're making about the changes that they've made. And they mention that in this one, it's all about the graphics changes, right? And the UI and whatnot. So I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what we've been wanting, because Ultra Test 1 was horrible when it came to graphics. The graphics were shit. I'll be real with you. They were crap. They did not reflect the actual power of Unreal Engine 5. In fact, it made the regular Water Tanks Blitz look like Water Tanks PC. That's how good the graphics of regular Blitz are. Like, it's at its epitome right now. So we're going to go through the video. I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to explain certain things that are going on and my opinions on it. So here we go.
Moving to Unreal Engine changed everything for Blitz. Now we have the power to improve graphics, effects, and physics.
Right. Obviously.
After the last test, we received a huge wave of feedback from you.
Yeah.
We listened, we analyzed.
I was one of those people that literally hounded on Wargaming to ensure that they actually implement what Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to achieve, which is incredible physics, proper sort of graphics, HD textures all around on all the tanks and on all the maps, certain things like that, even the details in not only the tracks, but the shadows, the hit detection, the sparks coming off from a round that hits the front of the tank and bounces off. Little things like that, this is what Unreal Engine can do. And we saw none of that in Ultra Test 1, so...
And we've made changes to the things that raised the most questions. And thanks to the new engine, we can respond faster and do more.
Good.
We've made a lot of visual improvements, many of them subtle, but all of them important.
Interesting. Okay, so... Okay. You can see... So, you see the Batchat obviously driving over whatever that was, and you see the rubble that's, exploded from the tank driving over it. That's a nice little feature there. I like that. That's a good little piece of detail.
New grass. More detailed outlands.
Ooh, okay, I quite like the foliage, the grass, the trees. That's something as well that was quite shit in Ultra Test 1. This as well here. This is quite cool. So this is old Blitz, I'm assuming. As you can see, the truck is a bit different. I'm assuming those are bricks. They actually looks like bricks here, and when you run over them, it looks like bricks.
Make shadows.
Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Did you see that? Let's replay it for a second.
A lot of visual improvements.
Oh, okay. So you saw the tank going through the brick wall. So the destruction that happens after that, it looks more realistic. It looks like what you would expect when you run over a brick wall. Obviously, the bricks come apart, which is very nice indeed.
New grass. More detailed outlines. Dynamic shadows.
You see that?
Upgraded text.
So it's called Dynamic Shatters. Interesting name. I would just call it realistic, to be honest with you. That's what I would call it. Landscapes. This is nice. This is a nice improvement. So this is what old Blitz looks like on the sides. This is what new Blitz looks like. The Reforged Update 2, or rather the Reforged Ultra Test 2. The background looks much better, much sharper, a lot more detailed. That's what we want to see.
New fire and smoke effects.
Ooh. Okay. So, hold on. Let's keep going. So that's the old Blitz. Right, we're currently Blitz right now. This is the new one. Nice. That's a nice effect. It gives you a bit of realism as well. Notice how the old desert sands in the background, there's some kind of castle of some sorts. You can't really see it in the new one, but the train has more details as well. The barrels look a bit better than the old one. a bit more detailed. You can see the darkness of the sand, which is better. So that's a good
Together, they
improvement there.
create a richer visual experience and make battles feel more immersive.
Interesting. Oh,
Our goal is to keep the
I do like that. Did you see the brown reflecting off, and then the trace, like the shells, sort of it's not the trace up. It's the smoke coming from that shell bouncing off. It's a nice little detail there.
and feel you're
Good.
used to, but make it even better.
Ooh, okay.
During the last
Fucking
round of testing, we collected your feedback and used it to fine-tune some of the changes.
interesting.
One of the concerns raised during the previous test was FPS drops. We've already made
Oh,
several
yes. Okay. This was a huge issue. FPS drops was a pain in the ass because at one point you're getting 60 FPS and then all of a sudden you drop down to like 30 or 20 FPS and it really looked laggy, it looked slow. And you're saying to yourself, well, I have a high-end device. How is this possible? Well, now they've apparently
improvements
addressed
to
it.
performance, and we'll be testing them in the upcoming Ultra test. It's still a work in progress, and optimizing performance across all devices remains one of our top priorities.
Good,
Your feedback and test data play a key role in helping us get there.
as it should be.
Some players noticed that the image looked blurry in certain moments. We've adjusted the settings and visual parameters. That blur
Okay, this is interesting. So the images and whatnot looked a bit blurry, which is correct, it did. This looks a lot better. It looks more refined. It looks more detailed. It's not as blurry anymore, which is what we wanted from Ultra Test 1. But I guess they were just testing the grounds, which, you know, fair enough. So credit where credit is
is
due.
now gone.
It's quite good.
Another point of feedback was the color scheme of the battle UI. It felt unfamiliar and too bright. We brought back the classic colors. Green,
Thank God. This is a big plus from Wargaming, bringing back the colors,
red for
you know, the green and the red. Thank you. Why change something if it's not broke? Why change the color in the first place? Just keep it as it is.
enemies. We've also improved how the HP bar responds to damage. It's much clearer and more readable than in the previous test.
Good. So this was another pet peeve of mine where if you damage a tank, it's not as clear. It doesn't show like a decrease in hit points. So that's a plus right there. Nice little detail there, which I quite like.
Some players found certain UI elements, like status notifications and ribbons, too small. We've improved their readability.
Good. Good.
Mobile players asked for more control over the interface, especially
Oh my God, this thing. Oh, yes. Thank you, Wargaming. This was another thing that really pissed me off, where there were certain aspects where, like certain controls and whatnot, if you're playing on phone or iPads or mobile devices, where you couldn't move it in a certain area, you couldn't actually move it. It was really annoying. So, thank you. You fixed, albeit it is a small issue, but it was annoying.
the ability to move command buttons. We're fixing that. To keep things familiar, national voiceovers will stay enabled by default.
Okay, this is one of the biggest issues that players had, including myself, in Ultra Test 1, which was there was no national crew voices, and instead we had these really cringy-ass voice lines from these commanders, right? We had to listen to Olivia Vasquez. Ugh, the way she was talking, or freaking Ducky. Ugh, even worse. Or freaking Duncan's really cringy lines where he says bastard, right? It's like, just give us national crew voices. Give us the opportunity to switch between that or commanders. And guess what? They are doing that. So, big plus there for Wargaming. Thank you.
But if you're curious to try something new, you can now switch to commander voiceovers in the settings whenever you like.
Yeah, no thanks. No, I'll stick with national crew voices.
The physics system has been completely reworked. In the past, it was simplified. Now, it's fully simulated, with real friction, sliding, and track-to-surface interaction. Tank movement now behaves much closer to how real vehicles respond.
Good. This is one thing I've been wanting in Blitz, and I'm pretty sure everyone else as well. We want the tank to react with the environment and the way it's obviously moving around in a more realistic manner, which is what Unreal Engine can do, and clearly we're seeing that right now. So that's a good
But at the same time,
improvement.
we're keeping the gameplay dynamic and fun
Oh, that's so good. I love
with a
that.
few smart compromises. For example, tanks can flip, but they'll always land back on their tracks.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like if you flip, you should be punished for it. But you know what? I'm not complaining because it looks more realistic, aside from flipping back, that is.
At first, the new physics might feel unusual, but very quickly you'll start to notice the positives: better control, more weight, more immersion. And if something gets in the way of fun, we'll keep tuning it based on your feedback. For example, some players noticed a drop in speed during turns or tank
Interesting.
behavior that fell off. We are already adjusting individual parameters to bring back that familiar Blitz handling. We've
Okay, so just in case you're wondering what they were talking about. So they're making it where the physics is improved, the graphics have improved, and everything about that's improved, but it feels and looks familiar to what we're used to for all these years in regular Blitz, right? So that's a very good point, and I really appreciate them actually doing
saying
that.
that tanks feel slower in the Reforged update. We looked into
Yes.
it, and yes, there was a difference. We've adjusted it, and now tanks move at the same speed you're used to.
Good. So that's another thing as well, where the tanks were too slow. They felt like they were too slow. They shouldn't be this slow. Thankfully, they've addressed that. Looks like it was I believe it was a bug. What do you call it, for movement? So that's been track traverse. So that's been fixed.
Some players mention that aiming and camera movement feel different, even with the same settings and sensitivity.
Yep, that's true.
We've made a number of improvements in this area to make the experience smoother and more responsive.
Good, as it should be.
You'll be able to test these changes yourself and share your updated feedback.
100%, I'll share it.
We've added a new armor penetration highlight system. It's more intuitive.
Ooh, okay. This is interesting. I was not expecting this. Okay, so obviously we're used to seeing just red and then just nothing, just the color of the tank, if we can pen. This is actually a good idea. I actually like this idea. It'll help new players understand where you can pen a tank. That's a very good idea. That's actually a good idea, Wargaming. Thank you. I like this idea. That's nice. This is actually nice. Now, albeit there will be some pro players be like, oh, this is not good. You know, noobs are going to get better. That's the idea. We want to make them better. We want to make them play better. So it's a good idea. I would like to have an option where you can toggle all armor, indicators off. So it's like Water Tanks PC. It's a bit of a
It
challenge.
helps quickly assess whether a shot is likely to go through. If you want to try it out or explore the combined mode, you can
Nice.
switch
So
between
it's a
all
combined.
available options in the settings. These changes aren't final. We're continuing to improve the game, and
Good.
your feedback is a key part of that process.
Remember,
We
guys,
wanna test
feedback,
all of this
feedback,
together
feedback.
with you. Join the Open Ultra test and tell us what you
Coming
think.
soon.
Your opinion matters. We're building this game together.
Okay, so finalization of what we saw and a breakdown. Number one, graphics, definitely an improvement over the Ultra Chest 1, which is good. It shows you the power of Unreal Engine. Number two, the physics have been improved, which is exactly what we were asking for. So that's good. It's been refined. It's been improved. Now you can do many more things, which is great. The little details where your tank interacts with the environment feels more realistic, which is good. That's exactly what I mean. The movement feels more natural, more realistic, but also feels familiar, which is good. The color schemes of the indicators and whatnot have gone back to the, what they originally are in regular Blitz, which again is what we've been wanting. So thank you. And more importantly, we also have now crew voices. They've made a return. You can choose between commanders and crew voices. Personally, I'll go with the national crew voices. And then, of course, you have the armor inspector or the armor indicator, which is good. It's a nice little improvement there. So credit where credit is due. Wargaming, you've made some really piss poor decisions lately with your draws and your tanks releasing. But with Reforged, I am thoroughly impressed with the improvements that you made after just one test. It's very impressive. I am glad you are listening to the community and you're listening to the content creators and the feedback that you're getting. It shows me that you genuinely care about Reforged. Now, we need to put some, effort into regular Blitz for now, as well. So use that same listening and feedback that we're getting in regular Blitz as well as in Reforged. So it's a good thing, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like these changes or you dislike them. So therefore, Wargaming can see your comments and use that as feedback for them, right? Apologies if this video is a little bit lower in terms of volume. It is late. The kids are asleep. I don't want to wake them up. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Look after your friends and family. Peace in the Middle East and everywhere else in this world. Love you all. And I'll catch you on the battlefield. Bye for now.